Now we're going to do the elements of light to see how light shines on an object and how the light shining on the object makes the object look dimensional. We're going to look at the visual element of value, which is light and darkness. So you can see how light shines on an object, and then we'll start shading our figures. First with just non-color, black to white, and then we'll go on to color. So we will look at the elements of light. First of all, you need a light source to see anything, especially if it's dark. So the light source can be a light bulb, it can be the sun, it can just be lights in a room, a fire, anything that provides light. So in this case, we've got a little light bulb shining on a circle. So the circle was just flat, and then it's been shaded with all these elements of light. So you want to define these elements of light. So the lightest light, when a light hits an object, is called a highlight. We've seen it already in the eyeballs, in the pupil where the light shines. The next values or tones are called light tones as the object moves away from the light source. So this is a sphere, it's round, so parts of it are moving away from the light source. Then as it moves away from the light source, you have medium tones or values, darks. The darkest dark on an object is called the core shadow. I like to think of it as apple core, the deepest, darkest part where the light is not shining. And then the light shines and reflects off the surface it's sitting on, reflects back onto the object, so that's called a reflected light. It's not as light as the highlights, maybe as light as some of the light tones, but it's a bouncing light that bounces back onto the object. Sometimes you'll see it if somebody's wearing a light colored blouse. You'll see the light reflecting back onto their jawbone. Then the object is blocking the light, and on the surface that it's sitting on, it will cast a shadow. So you've probably been walking around, look down, you might see your shadow on the ground. So the only element of light that is not on the object itself is the cast shadow. We'll also be making a color, a value scale. So they say the human eye can see 122 values from black to white. So yours will be only 5 values, starting with very dark, less dark, medium value, light, and lightest. You don't need to go from black, black to white, white, but you need even steps. Then you do one where you go from black to light, following the same values, but without any lines in between. So it's a smooth blending of value. And then these are just some examples of things that are shaded that we will do later. So that's the elements of light.